Hello and welcome to another episode of Belongs to the Shadows. I'm your creepy host, Jaime Bennett. Sorry for my appearance. I have a swollen throat, so I'm not feeling that great today, but that's okay. We must trudge on. I want to bring you this episode. I do have to tell you that my friend Sandie Dee is a producer on this episode because the material that I'm about to talk about, she provided me. She provided me with the story that I'm going to tell you today, and she provided me with the information, and she provided me with the photos. So thank you very much, Sandie Dee, for doing that. I really appreciate it. So she is a producer on this episode. Viewer discretion, listener discretion is advised, as always. And I'm sorry if my screen's jumping around. Ooh. I might be a floating head here in a moment. But I'm going to be talking about a haunted hotel that is in Maui, Hawaii. My friend stayed at the hotel and she provided me with today's information. So thank you. So here we go. I'm going to be getting this off the internet, and I'm also going to show you some of the pictures that she was able to snag me, which, like I said, I really, really appreciate. If any of you have any ghost stories or anything that you want me to research and talk about, please feel free to leave it in the comments. I do go back and try to read all the comments, so I will see it, or reach out and let me know. I'm hoping to be able to start having guests on the show because I know that there have been a few people that have reached out and have wanted to become guests on the show. So this show is pre-recorded a lot of times, but we can't always do a live episode. Nothing wrong with that. We can do a live episode. So if any of you are interested in telling your supernatural stories, please reach out and let me know. So without further ado, here we go. The most notorious... That sounds like scary. One of the most notorious haunted hotels. The oldest hotel in Hawaii is also one of the most haunted places you'll ever sleep. And I'm getting this. There goes my werewolf. We call that my pocket werewolf. It always happens to go off during the show. How awesome is that? I guess it's fitting. Sorry, guys. But I'm getting this from www.onlyinyourstate.com/Hawaii/haunted-Moana-Surfrider-High. And yeah, so here we go. It was posted February 14th of 2019 by Megan Shute, and it's the oldest hotel in Hawaii. It's also one of the most haunted places you'll ever sleep. And most of this is in quotations. As local travel experts, we know what travelers are looking for when it comes to finding the perfect accommodations for their next trip. To compile our list, we scour the internet to find properties with excellent ratings and reviews, desirable amenities, nearby attractions, and that something special that just makes a destination worthy of traveling for. So that's what was written in the article by Megan Shute, and here is more of the information. There are countless incredible hotels as well as resorts found across the Hawaiian Islands, especially in Waikiki. But today, I'm going to be talking about and taking a look at Hawaii's oldest hotel. The Moana Surfrider, which opened in 1901, was the first luxury property along Waikiki Beach, beating the Royal Hawaiian by more than 25 years. This historic hotel is often referred to as the First Lady of Waikiki. And while it is undoubtedly the embodiment of old Hawaiian elegance, it is also rumored to be haunted. This historic haunted resort in Hawaii is sure to make that vacation of yours very special and maybe a little creepy. The Westin Resort and Spa is truly something special, and not just because the hotel and grounds are positively, absolutely gorgeous. Though that can be certainly true, the property, which was built more than a century ago in a Italian Renaissance style, features not only a rich sense of heritage, but also history and the aloha spirit, as well as Hawaiian hospitality that welcomes you in and makes you feel as though you are royalty. No detail was spared in the construction of this hotel and subsequent renovations of this iconic Hawaiian hotel. It shows in everything from the well-manicured gardens and the incredible front porch to the tastefully beautiful decorated guest rooms and everything in between. The interior feels very welcoming, light, and airy, as well into addition to maintaining its historic roots with dark wood features and historic prints lining the walls, which my friend Sandie was able to snag some of those. I will go ahead and show you those. Give me one moment here. It's a learning process. All right, so here is the first print that I have. There is, I guess, the way that the rooms used to look. And then here's another one. It's so interesting. She got some really good photos of the way that the hotel used to look. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe you can zoom in on your screen. But here is another print that she got. And then there's how it used to look. So I'm very thankful that Sandie was able to get these prints in the story for me. This is very interesting. The hotel is unlike any other hotel that you will find in Hawaii. And the views are truly second to none. Spectacular views. After all, you can see the sparkling turquoise waters of the Pacific Ocean from the simple and stunning guest rooms to the oceanfront pool, a luxurious spa, and the on-site restaurants. I feel like I'm doing a commercial for this hotel. Give me a call. Yeah, so here we go. But this century-old hotel also holds a dark secret. On the date of February 29th, 1905, the untimely and suspicious death of Jane Stanford, who was the co-founder of Stanford University, made headlines across America. At the time, the death of Jane Stanford was one of America's most legendary murder mysteries. Vacationing in Hawaii after a strychnine poisoning attempt on her life, Stanford died in her room at the Moana Surfrider. Stanford was the first poisoned on January 14th of 1905 at her Nob Hill mansion in San Francisco, where she consumed mineral water that tasted bitter. She forced herself to vomit the water and sent it to a pharmacy to be analyzed. The findings had showed that the water was poisoned with a lethal dose of strychnine. The maid had fell under suspicion and was dismissed, though no evidence had existed pointing to a culprit or motive for the attempted murder. Depressed and suffering from a cold, Stanford sailed to Hawaii with plans to continue on to Japan. Then, on the evening of February 28th, Stanford asked for bicarbonate of soda to settle her stomach, which her personal secretary, Bertha Bernier, prepared for her. Berner was a trusted employee of 20 years at this point, and the only other person who had also been present at the scene of the previous incident. Red flags. Stanford cried out for help at 11:15 p.m., claiming that she had lost control of her body and believed she had been poisoned again. Attempts to induce vomiting were unsuccessful, and Stanford officially died from strychnine poisoning. After 3 days of testimony, the coroner's jury concluded in less than 2 minutes that she had died of strychnine. The strychnine that had killed her this time was introduced in, of course, a bottle of bicarbonate of soda with felonious intent by some person or persons to this jury unknown, according to Alma Mater Mystery. The jury's quick decision had been controversial, and to this day, no one knows who murdered Jane Stanford. Though Stanford University President David Starr Jordan was the most popular suspect, as he and Stanford had a difficult relationship. Since then, there have been many reports that Stanford's ghost still frequently visits the hotel, whose breathtaking vistas of the Pacific Ocean once brought her short-lived peace. Guests and the hotel staff alike have said that they've seen her wandering the halls at night trying to find her room. Wow, that's interesting. That makes me really, really sad, but it's interesting. Look, floating head. Perfect for this show. So yeah, that's really sad and really interesting. So this is one of the most haunted hotels in Hawaii. I've also got some other things popped up on my computer here that I think that you all will find to be very, very interesting. And it kind of goes along with this story. I looked up ghost stories in Hawaii as well as, other things. So this one is also can be found on www.onlyinyourstate.com/Hawaii/haunted hotels NHI. So these 9 haunted hotels in Hawaii will make your stay a nightmare. And this was published on June 23rd of 2022 by the same person, Megan Shute. So here we go. This is in quotations. As local experts, we know what travelers are looking for when it comes to finding the perfect accommodations for their next trip. To complete our list, we scour the internet to find properties with excellent ratings and reviews, desirable amenities, nearby attractions, and something special that makes a destination worthy of traveling for. I feel like I'm doing a commercial, but that's in quotations, and that's part of this article. When most people check into a beautiful hotel in Hawaii, what do they expect? They expect comfort, some Hawaiian-themed decor, and maybe a nice view of the oceans. Guests don't often expect a nightmare-inducing, spine-chilling, paranormal experience while on vacation. I do. But I have this show called Belongs to the Shadows, so it would make sense, right? Here we go. Anywho, so they don't expect that. They don't expect paranormal experiences. So if you aren't up for being a little spooked, you should stay away from the following hotels in Hawaii. The first one on the list is the Hilton Hawaiian Village in Honolulu, Hawaii. Guests and locals alike have told of a young, attractive woman in a red dress. It's the woman in the red dress that there are numerous haunted locations around the world that talks about a woman in a red dress walking in the hallways or down the beach. There are 2 theories. One, that she is the spirit of someone murdered in a hotel room, or 2, that she is the Pele, the volcano goddess. Man, if I could talk, that would be great. 2, Oh man, here we go. I'm probably going to spell this out for you because I don't want to butcher it. King Kamehameha's Kona Beach Hotel. And that's spelled Kamehameha. That is a mouthful. But it is on the Big Island, and it tops this list at number 2. This hotel is rumored to have been buried on or near the hotel grounds. The king of that time that the hotel is named after, they think that he is buried underneath the hotel, that they put the hotel on top of his burial, or that he's buried somewhere nearby. Anyone who seeks the supernatural will want to visit this hotel's top floor. Guests have heard sounds of battle and apparitions of warriors. A portrait of Queen Lulukalani, hope I didn't butcher that, located on the ground floor, has been said to inhale and exhale before your very own eyes. That's, yeah. If you're like me, it wouldn't stress you out. You would just film it for an episode of this show. But yeah, I could see how that would be very, very creepy for some people. Some people have a hard time handling the supernatural, and some people have a hard time, dealing with things like that. Okay. I lost my page. Here we go. Prince Waikiki Hotel in Oahu. Guests have reportedly seen strange lights moving around the hotel building and heard whispering voices. There's also been reports of luggage being moved around. Strange lights, that could be orbs. I don't know if you guys have heard of orbs, but a lot of times when people are ghost hunting, or, there is a ghost hunting show, they will talk about orbs, which are exactly how they sound, just balls of light that move around. I'm so sorry, y'all. The screen is blurring in and out. I need to get a better screen, but that's okay. We're going to make do with this, right? So yeah, orbs are exactly how they sound. And those are, essentially ghosts or spirits that are being seen that way. Volcano House Hotel, which is number 4 on the list, and it's on the Big Island. It is a former historic and private residence. The former owner and his family claimed to see an apparition of an elderly woman. She had also been seen in guest rooms and wandering the hallways. Sightings of a ghostly white dog have also been reported on the entrance road to the hotel. Halpuna Waikiki by Halkulani Hotel, Oahu. And this is number 5 on the list. A worker who passed away had allegedly still been punching in for work. The machine records someone punching in with his card, even though his magnetic punch card was canceled. It has happened on more than one occasion, and the records only show him punching in, never punching out. That's very interesting. That would be really, really creepy. Really, really creepy, but that's interesting. That's sad, too, to punch into work and never be able to punch out. I don't know about you, but, when I go to work and I clock out for the day, I am running and skipping and hopping to my car and ready to get home. So that's really sad. That makes me so sad. Oh, poor person. The lodge at Kolali Lanani, I cannot pronounce that. I'm so sorry if I butchered it. It's number 6 on the list, and it is the Four Seasons Hotel property is rumored to be home of several ghosts, not just one, several, including a little girl who likes to visit guest rooms. However, no one seems to know why these ghosts would be lurking around the hotel. Kona Lagoon Resort on the Big Island. This is number 7 on the list. Though the hotel was torn down in 2004, it is said to have been haunted by supernatural twin sisters who used to live in the area before the hotel was built. Footsteps, chanting, cries, and screams have all been reported on the hotel's upper floors. Most employees who worked there left, and the building sat vacant after Japanese developers abandoned the hotel in 1988. Number 8, Olahani Resort in Oahu. It was the hotel's 17th floor that was allegedly haunted by a guest who was said to have got sick on her vacation and suddenly died at the hotel. Guests stated that their sliding glass doors had opened and closed on their own, and that an apparition of a woman may appear to watch over guests as they sleep. It's now permanently closed. Thank goodness. And yikes. Number 9, Outrigger Resort and Spa on the Big Island. Formerly the Kona Sheraton, and before that the Kauahu Bay Resort, and before that the Kona Surf, this hotel has been notoriously haunted for many years. Guests have called to complain of 2 little girls playing in the hallways, but there's nothing the security guards can do, as they know the girls are ghosts and unlikely to listen anyways. Staff also speak of a ghost that stands at the cliff in front of the hotel on occasion, disappearing when you look away and then look back. To the locals, it is obvious why there is so much paranormal activity. The hotel was built on an ancient battleground. Whenever ancient battlegrounds are involved, or burial grounds, you get a lot of paranormal activity, and it makes for a lot of hauntings. So, what is thought to be Hawaii's scariest resort? Hawaii is a literal paradise, but it is not without its spooky bits. Naturally, an amazing place like this, like Hawaii, is so filled with cultural significance and history, is likely to come with some eerie stories and creepy stuff. And it most certainly does. The Moana Surf Rider Hotel is found on Waikiki Beach, and it was opened back in 1901. Goodness. It was the very first property of its kind on Waikiki, but of course there are murmurs of paranormal activity that sometimes shadow the amazing natural beauty. Murmurs that say it might just be one of the most haunted places in Hawaii. In 1905, this is a story that I told you all a while ago, Jane Stanford died in her hotel room at the Surf Rider shortly after a failed poisoning incident days before, and it's been said she and other wayward spirits still walk the halls of Hawaii's scariest resort. Goodness, it has been raining here, and that makes me so sleepy. I always yawn and yawn and yawn. It's probably a sore throat because it's been raining. So bear with me, y'all. I hope that I am not boring you all too much. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing how many places and how many hotels are haunted in Hawaii. So yeah. Yep. It goes on to say a lot more about the history of the hotel, and like I said, you can find this on www.onlyinyourState.com/Hawaii/haunted-volcano-house-hi. It talks about Mark Twain and talks about a whole bunch of history. I'm not going to dive into all of that, but it would be worth a read. There is 11 more hauntings in Hawaii that could send chills down your spine. From a high school haunted by a crying girl to roads, hotels, and buildings with some supernatural residents, Hawaii is the home to various ghosts that have decided to make the island their permanent residence or home for the afterlife. Some are the ghosts of ancient Hawaiian warriors, while others are plantation workers or Hawaiian deities in their ghostly form. In particular, these 11 places throughout the islands are known for their haunted histories, paranormal activity, and some pretty scared witnesses. Read on to learn all about some of the craziest hauntings in Hawaii. So I'm going to tell you guys the list. Milani's Kapapa Gulch. Hopefully I did not butcher that. That's number 1 on the list. It's said to be the site of a major battle in Hawaiian history. And like I said, anytime battlegrounds are involved or, anything like that, you're going to have a lot of supernatural energy there, and you're going to have a lot of ghosts. It's going to happen. So it's said to be the site of a major battle in Hawaiian history, and the bridge spanning the ravine has witnessed several head-on collisions. Residents have reported hearing the sounds of people crying under the bridge, as well as seeing lights move down the mountainside into the gulch. Orbs. That is usually the spirits. Orbs. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this, so I'm going to spell it for you. Hamakuapoko, because I don't want to butcher it, and I don't want any offense taken by me mispronouncing these names. I want to be respectful. So, a former town and land division, this particular place is said to be haunted by spirits from the area's missionary and plantation days. An abandoned high school is the site of a local legend telling of choking ghosts who accost their students who were skipping class. The ghost of a girl crying inside the boarded-up high school bathroom has also been reported. New Anu Pali Highway, and this is number 3 on the list. It is said that Pale and the demigod Kamapuas, a half-man, half-pig, had a bad breakup and agreed to never see each other again. The legend says that you cannot take pork over the Pali Highway, which separates the windward side of Oahu and Honolulu, because it means that you are symbolically taking Kamapuas from one side of the island to the other. The legend says that if you try to bring pork across, your car will stop at some point along the journey, and an old woman with a dog will appear. To continue on your way, you must feed the pork to the dog. That is interesting. Wow, that's very interesting. Alrighty, number 4, Lau Theater. The theater, which opened in 1928, is said to be haunted. Surprise, surprise. There has been various reports of misty ghost sightings in the seats throughout the theater, as well as on stage. Though witnesses claim the apparition is friendly, we like friendly ghosts. Other ghosts have been seen in the basement. It is said these are the ghosts of Hawaiian soldiers who died during battle centuries ago. Witnesses have reported feeling cold spots, seeing shadowy figures, and hearing voices. Cold spots is another huge sign of ghosts. And, tapping. Sometimes you'll hear tapping. Sometimes, like, if you get a flashlight, like a clicker flashlight, and place it in wherever you're trying to investigate and see if there's a ghost, you can always ask them to turn that flashlight on or off. They're able to do that sometimes with whatever energy that they are able to gather. So that would be a good test in a place like that. Is something as simple as a flashlight. Number 5 is the Hilton Hawaiian Village, which I believe I had already talked about. the woman in the red dress. Morgan's Corner is number 6 on this list, and it's located on Nuanu Pali Drive. Is the infamous Morgan's Corner, a sharp S-shaped turn near Dr. James Morgan's villa. In 1948, 2 escaped prisoners murdered 68-year-old widow Therese Wilder in her home. She was bound, gagged, and left unconscious in her bed. During the struggle, she suffered a broken jaw, and she subsequently suffocated due to the broken jaw and a gag placed around her neck and mouth. Some say she can still be heard screaming for her life. Others make claims of seeing a teenage girl holding her own head. Goodness. The story says that she ran away from home and hung herself on a tree near the turn. This is scary. And that's really, really sad. And if you see a picture of Morgan's Corner, look it up or go to this website. Yeah, I don't think that I would want to be driving around that. And if I drove around that, I would probably be going like 5 miles an hour. It's scary. 7, the Volcano House Hotel. I think I might have talked about that. Yeah, it's the ghost white dog, ghostly white dog and the elderly woman. Number 8 is the Hawaii Plantation Village. This outdoor history museum tells the story of the island's sugarcane workers and the life of them on the plantation circa 1850 to 1950, as well as the history of immigration to Hawaii. The village features restored buildings, replicas of various plantation structures, and a few ghosts as well. Of the village's 25 plantation houses, approximately half of them are haunted. Surprise! Very tall, goodness gracious. Let me rewind and look at that again. I really need to wear glasses, people. Every fall, there we go, yay. Every fall, the museum is transformed into a haunted house. Though due to ghostly encounters and supernatural activities, actors are not allowed to work in the houses by themselves. Whew. Number 9, Halhi Place. Hopefully I did not butcher that. Once a vacation getaway Hawaiian royalty, the palace was built from coral and lava rock in 1838 and is said to be haunted by the ghost of a young boy. Number 10, Oahu Community Correctional Facility. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. A 950-cell jail is the site of a former Oahu prison where 47 men were hanged between 1909 and 1944. The gallows were converted into offices, and prisoners have reported hearing the rattling of cell doors, and guards claim to have trouble sleeping in the squad room. Wow. This place looks haunted, so you guys should look this website up. I wish I had a picture of it, but I don't. It's number 11 on the list, and it's the haunted banyan tree at Moana Falls. Moana Falls. Moana, goodness gracious, Jamie. Get your mind away from Disney. Let's go back to this. Moana Falls. There we go. At the start of Moana Falls is a banyan tree, though to hold lost spirits. This tree is allegedly in the path of the night marchers, the ghosts of ancient Hawaiian warriors. It is said that you can hear the faint sound of drumming on particular nights. Wow. So yeah, there's 11 haunted places for you. I hope I didn't butcher names too much. I am infamous about that. I don't mean any disrespect. My friend Sandie was able to get a picture of the most haunted hotel, the one that she stayed at, the first hotel that I talked about, the one where the lady died from strychnine poisoning. So here we go. This is what the hotel looks like now, but there are pictures of how it used to look. I think that it might be maybe this one. No. Yeah. There's how it used to look, and here's how it looks now. So that's really, really interesting. She was able to snag some really good photos, and I appreciate that. I hope I am doing this story justice. I also looked up some just Hawaiian ghost stories of Hawaii, because I was interested. I wanted to know if there were more places that were haunted in Hawaii. And you have to figure, Hawaii is very, very historical, and it's not just one island. There's numerous islands, as you all know. And I just, was curious as to the ghost stories that happen around the island. So I did a little bit of research, and looked this up, and you can find this actually on www.tripadvisor.com/show topic G60634, and it's Hawaii ghost stories. So yeah, here we go. This is a Hawaiian ghost story that comes from one of the, people who posted on TripAdvisor who had taken a trip, and it's going to be in quotations, and it's from 13 years ago, and this person happens to be from Boston. They said that maybe they had been watching too many of the paranormal ghost shows on TV, like Ghost Adventures, etc. Wherever they travel, they ask local people if they know of any local ghost stories. Like me, I plan on eventually, if I can save up the money, or if somebody wants to sponsor the show, you don't have to. You can just enjoy the craziness of this show, like the floating head today. If anybody does want to sponsor this show, or send tips, or donations or whatever, be appreciated but not expected, because I do plan on traveling to Savannah and staying at the Marshall House, the Marshall Hotel, because it's supposed to be one of the most haunted places in Savannah, and I want to record staying there overnight and see what happens. So look forward to that in the future once I get enough funds to be able to do that. But let's continue on with this story. This person had asked around, and at one of the large resorts they recently had stayed at, which was in Maui, a local had told them a story about the security guard. They're going around checking late at night to make sure everything was okay in different parts of the resort. He went into one of the ballrooms to check it, and he saw a woman in a wedding dress down in the corner crying. He asked her several times if he could help her and if she was all right. She didn't answer him, but kept crying. He finally got within a couple of feet of her, where he could see her closely, and noticed that he could see right through her, and she was floating 2 feet off the floor. He said that she looked right through him. The security guard was a big Samoan man and looked like he could take good care of himself. But when he saw the dead ghost bride, he went straight away and turned in his keys. He never returned to the resort again. Yeah. Yeah. I think that when I was younger, that if I would have seen something like that, I probably would have done the same thing. All right, so there is the same person, while they were there in October, this is 13 years ago, some of the locals were scaring them with the stories of ghost marchers. She says that these things are creepy, and when she got home to look them up on YouTube, that is something that she hopes to never experience while on the islands. They also had heard that a lot of resorts and hotels in Maui are built on ancient burial grounds, and whenever ancient burial grounds are involved, there's sure to be apparitions, ghosts, and spirits. So yeah. This one comes from someone 13 years ago. I must be on an old website, but that's okay. It still serves its purpose. This person likes ghost stories, and they had read a book about chicken skin, which that's what tells stories from the islands. They forgot the exact name of the book, but they had asked about other locations, and they were staying in a very small room in another location, and they had took a picture of their room to show people just how small it was. And when they got home, there was something in the mirror over their bed. They hadn't noticed when they took the picture, but several people looked at it and said the shapes in the mirror were ghosts or spirits. You can see a faint outline of 3 people. One person said that the dark blotch was one of the spirits' third eye. At the time, that was mainly a film. At the time, they were mainly a film photographer, and a film will capture images or our mind's eye, and that we can't see with our own eyes. Something about sensing heat. Digitals don't do that. They called the hotel and asked them if there was a mildew spot on the back of the mirror in their room or anything like that, and there wasn't. They had talked to the inn's manager, who told them their inn had the reputation of being haunted. So they read up on the inn. The room next door to theirs is definitely haunted, and the spirits are often seen in the mirror, and the mirror moves a lot, swinging back and forth. Also, there was a very strong scent of flowers in their room. There weren't any flowers that they could see. So yeah, a lot of times there's unexplained smells. Like, you'll smell perfume, you'll smell cigarette smoke, you will smell like the smell that you don't want to smell is like sulfuric acid, or like it smells like rotten eggs. That is definitely not a smell that you want to smell, because a lot of times that indicates a demonic spirit, and that's not something that you want to deal with. So if you smell like flowers or cigarette smoke, a lot of times that is a spirit who either, it's their perfume or they used to smoke. That happens a lot. I know that my mom was actually telling me not too long ago that my dad, in a certain spot where they live and on a certain spot on a certain road, he always smells cigarette smoke in the passenger seat of his car when he's coming home from work. And I just think that's interesting. Where we live in Georgia, there are a lot of hauntings. This is the South, and war happened here, just like other places, and there are a lot of ghost stories here. I will talk about Rome, Georgia, ghost stories again. I had done that one. I think that was my first episode, and I was finding my path, I guess. I was finding what I was comfortable with, and I would like to say that this show has come a long way since then. So I would like to revisit Myrtle Hill in the Rome area. I would also like to visit Cave Spring in Cave Spring. There's some ghost stories there, and I would like to do a better job with the Rome episode because I was not very happy with the first episode or the first few episodes. And I might watch this episode and not be happy with it and decide to do another episode on ghost stories in Hawaii. Who knows? But I hope that y'all have enjoyed this episode. I hope I didn't butcher the names too much because I am infamous for butchering names. My darn dialect. So yeah, if any of you want me to do research on a particular supernatural event or ghost story, and want me to talk about it, just drop that in the comments. If you would like to be a guest on the show and talk about your supernatural experiences as well as your ghost stories, please drop me a comment or just reach out to me. I don't mind. And like I said, I hope y'all have enjoyed this episode. I hope that you've enjoyed the floating head because my background is crazy. Hey, at least it's a nice eerie picture back there. Anyhow, stay spooky.